Welcome back to Big Red Rant, where we can't remember a bigger, more highly anticipated non-conference game than the one Nebraska faces this Saturday against Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, and the rest of the Colorado Buffaloes. Hit the like for us, and please, if you are new to the channel, we'd love for you to subscribe and tell us in the comments below, what kind of game plan do you think Matt Rule and Coach Satterfield should roll out for Jeff Sims in week 2? So by now you know that Colorado shockingly upset the formerly number 17 TCU and currently have all the momentum in the world at their backs. But we both feel that they are absolutely beatable by this Nebraska team. However, only if Jeff Sims plays to his strengths, of which he actually has many. Look, it was a very frustrating game versus Minnesota that left Husker fans feeling like Jeff Sims as a thrower is complete garbage. But after watching the game a couple more times, Gary and I came up with a few plays that we'd like to specifically show you that prove that Jeff Sims can beat Colorado. Gary, he just needs to accentuate the good things and stay away from the bad.
Going back and looking at the game, finally getting a chance to, watch film, so to speak, or whatever, there's like one or two fixes that he could make that would drastically change what looked to be an abomination of a passing game. And the biggest one is the lack of going through progressions, or at least looking off the defense and being locked on to whatever receiver read he wanted to go to from the time he got the ball to snap to the time he let it go, and allowing the defense to just completely keep their eyes in the backfield throughout most of the game and shut down or take the ball away every time he attempted to make a pass.
Yeah, and rewatching the game, I noticed he makes pretty damn good decisions in the RPO game. He seems to really know when to let go of it and when to keep it. I felt like I understand now why they talk about him being such a physical presence, because he looked bigger than a lot of guys out there. They say that he's the first guy you want to have come off the bus. But like you said, his decision making, to me it looks like a few times he had completely predetermined where he was going to go with the ball before the snap. Consequences be damned.
Yeah, one of the most talked about plays and one of the biggest mishaps, obviously, was that interception at the end of the second quarter, right before halftime, that essentially took a field goal off the board. But when we rewatch the play, you'll see it actually took a touchdown off the board because he has a guy wide open that he misses. This is the end of the second quarter. We only had one possession in the first quarter, but it really didn't take long for Minnesota to pick up on him staring down receivers. This play, prime example, number 2, top of the screen for Minnesota. It looks like he's in man with IGC. He went in motion with them from closer to the sidelines down, and he doesn't worry about where IGC is going. As soon as the ball snapped, he never takes his eyes off Sims. He keeps his eyes in the backfield the whole way, just backpedals. He's not worried about getting beat deep, and he's just waiting for him to go where he's going to go. He's just moving with his eyes, and it's an easy pick. And right here where it stopped, you can see Sims is so focused on IGC, he doesn't even notice Borkacher, who just gets just inside the goal line and turns around about a half a yard inside. Nobody around him. Easy pitch and catch touchdown that, again, Sims doesn't see. He's predetermined he's going to IGC. They're watching his eyes. They're drifting with where he's looking. He just made it way too easy for him. So worst case, you want him to throw the ball at the back of the end zone there, take the 3 points before halftime. But best case, without moving his head, he can just move his eyes, look down just the slightest bit, and he sees his tight end wide open in front of everybody. Easy touchdown before half. But again, it's just one of those things that if he can go through even 2 reads, or decide I'm going to look to the right side of the field and then come back to the guy I want to go to, just small little things that doesn't make him so predictable. This play is the last drive I think that we had in the fourth quarter, and this is a prime example of just the slightest look off paying off here. As soon as he gets the snap, he looks left. Whether he means to or not, he looks left. Minnesota's in man, so there's not a lot of coverage over the top, and it's going to be a quick pass, so it's not that easy to jump the route anyways. But he knows he's going to go to Washington at the bottom of the screen, takes a snap, he glances left. No one knows exactly where he's going. He steps into his throw. He throws it right as Washington's about to make his break. The ball's there as soon as the separation from the corner's made. It's an a nice 12, 13-yard reception. Little tiny things like that you don't notice, especially watching a game at full speed, make a huge difference, not just on that individual play, but as the game goes on. And it's hard for the defense to read the quarterback when it's hard to anticipate what he's doing. Little things like that will add up and extend drives, extend plays, and, essentially, like we looked on the last play, put points on the board instead of giving the ball up.
Most impressive to me is just the fact that he does go through progressions, and that's something I didn't know he could do.
This play verts back to him locking on the receivers. This is the drive before the field goal. Second down, we do end up getting the field goal, but again, we leave points off the board because, as you'll see, this is a pretty easy walk-in touchdown. Thomas Fidoni's going to line up in that H-back spot right by the and sign on 2nd and goal, but he's already predetermined he's going to go to IGC, who's on the lower hash marks there. It's going to be a play action. By the time Minnesota realizes it's a play action, they're all looking in the backfield once again, watching Sims, and they're all going to flow to that back corner of the end zone where he's watching IGC go. And Thomas Fidoni's going to get a nice little chip block, and they're going to leave him wide open towards the goal line. Anthony Grant's going to come right behind him. He's going to get it in there if he drops it to him. He has no clue he has two guys wide open because he's so locked in on IGC. And the smart thing, the good thing that happens here is once he realizes everybody's over there because they've been watching him, he throws it out the back of the end zone, so it's at least not a turnover. But again, leaving points off the board just because he's locked onto a receiver. There's multiple examples throughout this game. These ones where you're missing guys wide open for a touchdown are backbreakers, and obviously the ones that are going to stand out the most. And again, just another example. If he can I understand the pressure, I understand in the play action, some guys are going to come through and he's doing all this while he's trying to scramble and roll out. But, move your eyes a little bit. You don't have to twist your head back and forth. Just keep an eye on what's happening. A red flag should go off in your head when 4 guys are going to one receiver that somebody's got to be open, and he just doesn't have that instinct to take a second glance or even a first glance before the pass. And again, leave points off the board. This is another example of just not staring down from the get-go. This isn't looking off or checking out another read. This is a play action, but his head turns completely into the backfield, so guys have to stick to their assignment. They can't get a read on him and break on the ball, and he does a really good job knowing where he's going to go after the play action. It doesn't matter how covered Washington is because he throws this very quick and rather low so that it's either Washington's getting it or no one, but the ball comes out quick. It's not a stand there and let them see where you're looking. Fire the ball out. Your guy gets it or no one gets it. It's actually a pretty tight window. He makes a good throw. I know it's low, but he puts that up any higher, tries to lead him. It's getting picked off. So it's a combination of getting the ball out quick for various reasons, the offensive line being one of them, but just not giving the defense time to pick up where he's looking, where he's anticipating on going, and it doesn't give them time to react to it by the time they do see where he's looking. So a combination of things, the biggest one being not staring down your read, the second one being if you're going to and when you have to because of what the play design is, the offensive line can't hold up, whatever it is, just get the ball out quick and don't give the safeties time to come break on the ball and help the corners out.
Other than those throwing plays, I think it's just going to be super important to just run, milk the clock, keep Colorado's shockingly prolific offense off the field as much as possible, and absolutely not ask Jeff Sims to get into a throwing match with him.
Yeah, I agree. But the reality is there's going to be situations where you have to throw. And we obviously have examples now going back and looking that he can. It's not that he's incapable of it. He just needs to, 1, try not to stare down receivers, and 2, get the ball out quick before the defense can react to where he's looking or where he's trying to go. There's obviously other things he could do, but I mean, I don't feel like he made a ton of mistakes. I feel like he made very critical ones at critical moments, and that's what cost us the game. That's what could cost us the game this Saturday as well. But like you said, I would throw every variation of run. I would use fullbacks. I'd crowd the line with tight ends, power running, get outside, whether it's Ramir or it's him on RPOs. We saw a triple option attempt that he ended up keeping it. Just different things to keep them guessing, get guys in the box, maybe take 2 or 3 shots long if they start packing it. But other than that, nothing other than real quick 3-step drops and get the ball out type stuff.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to a healthy dose of Gabe Ervin. Tell us what you guys think in the comments. What do you want to see from this Huskers team against Colorado, other than a win? Once again, we will be live streaming the Colorado game on Saturday, so make sure you're subscribed so that you'll get that notification. And we've opened up a Big Red Rant Discord. Had a few people join already. We'd love to have you. Look out for that in the description below. Until next time, go Big Red.